Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new Big Brother 22 discussion. And there was a universe where Jess and I thought, all right, it's Monday. It's the start of the week. The cast interviews are coming on Wednesday. Maybe we'll actually know who is in the cast today. And what do we know?
We're all wearing clown masks.
Squadoosh! We do not know anything more other than that there is a season. We are all clowns. BB22 was trending worldwide on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, it was just, it made sense. It made sense. I fell into unicorn land. I'm typically somebody who only listens to CBS, and I try not to dive into the rumors because this happens, where I end up feeling like I'm in the clown car with everybody else, where we thought something was probably going to happen, and this just made so much sense. So, mwah.
Nothing makes sense. It is 2020. That is the motto of this year. But we're going to talk in this video about how did we get here? And also, what is CBS really doing? Why did we all fall into this trap? But there's some information from CBS's live feeds that maybe give us an indication that the cast reveal is being delayed, which is not news that I want to say. This is one of those occasions where if our kind of theorizing ends up being wrong, I will be so happy to just take the big L on it.
Yeah, I mean, all of us are just dying to know who's in the cast, but, here we are still waiting. We're like a week and a half basically away from the premiere and still squadoosh.
Yes, squadoosh is if you want to just have fun, say squadoosh to someone. It is the most fun word in the English language. But, okay, well, before we get into any of this ridiculousness today, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, check out the store, links in the description. We also have started up a Patreon, the link is in the description below. As well, if you want to support us through the season, we got live feed updates, we got all sorts of preseason stuff. Whenever the cast is actually legitimately announced, which, who knows, it might be 2 minutes before the premiere at this point.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I have felt, because of the virus and everything that's going on, that we were going to have a very thin promotional season. I mean, everything is still in flux. It just is. We do, luckily, knock on wood, still have a date that this is still premiering on, but everything is still in flux. I mean, the fact that they announced that they were going to have this, live feed thing where you get to go on Wednesday and hear some stuff about the cast, and now that's gone, it does tell me that things are still being affected by what's going on. Everything is still moving around.
Yeah, well, let's get into this live feed thing, because I think this is what really prompted us to, ring the, okay, we need to get on here and talk about it bell, because if you went on the CBS's live feed page, I know there's no actual feeds on there right now, but over the past few days, there had been a message saying that Wednesday at, I think it was 9 a.m. Pacific time, but it doesn't even matter anymore, but there was going to be interviews on there with the cast for this season. However, today you go on there is no mention of it anymore. Instead, it's just so the premiere date is August 5th. There will be lights, all the same sort of stuff you would expect. They haven't delayed the season, so for anyone worried about that this means that Big Brother 22 is canceled or anything like that, no.
So far, so good.
Yeah, they not gotten rid of the season.
No, and I think because they had that message on the live feeds that was saying that they were going to have some cast interviews and stuff like that, it made sense for this rumor to start up that we were going to get some sort of cast reveal on Monday. And typically in the news cycle, people bury stuff on Fridays, like we just saw with NCIS trying to bury that Maria Bello's leaving. And then they like to announce the stuff they want to stay in the news cycle longer on Monday. So it totally made sense that today was going to be the day they would announce the cast. Then you get to dive a little more in on Wednesday. But it doesn't really seem like that's going to happen. Like you said, it'd be great for us to take a giant L on that. And while we're recording this, they're announcing the cast.
Yeah.
But I feel less optimism about that after seeing that CBS has taken that down off of the live feed. Something is going on.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good yesterday. Like, I was feeling like, all right, it's probably come a Monday. I think Mondays are when they've announced some casts in the past. I felt good about it. And then we get to the Robin cast of it all. And I know Robin is not an executive producer on Big Brother. She doesn't control what happens on the show itself. But she had put something up on Twitter that seemed to strongly hint towards the possibility that today was going to be a very big day. And I didn't read as much into that when she posted it, because she's the casting director. She's important for a lot of things, like we said, not an executive producer for the show. But then she got rid of it. And when you get rid of a tweet, it's either one or two things. It's either you feel bad about what you posted, so you need to take it down, which, why would Robin feel bad about that? Or someone has been like, you need to take that down.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was Robin revealed more than she should have, and they were like, can you please take this down? Or if it was, things have changed, so you need to take this down. And then we also got to get into the Dan of it all, because Dan also posted, hey, I'm going to be watching everybody and this and that and whatever, and I'm excited for the cast reveal tomorrow. He posted something along those lines yesterday, and everyone was like, oh, he's confirmed it. And here's the thing is that people are saying stuff, all kinds of stuff on Twitter. That's why Twitter is not the place to go for information. Dan is probably keeping up with what is going on to some degree. He is also running his Twitch channel, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. So I think he's kind of probably heard, oh yeah, what everybody's been saying, oh, Monday's going to be the day, it's going to be the day. So he was probably like, oh, I guess Monday's the day. So he probably just said that thinking it was confirmed, and then someone was like, no, it's just a rumor, dude. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I'll fix that then. That's what I think happened. I don't think Dan knew any extra special information. I'm not saying he doesn't know anything, but he may have just bought into the same stuff that everyone did, because there's a lot of people that think that this Monday announcement was fact, and it hasn't ever been said, ever, by CBS that anything was dropping today.
Yeah, Dan
I'm pouring the cold water on this. I'm back doing this.
See, Dan may be one of the best Big Brother players of all time. Dan, unfortunately, is also not an executive producer.
No.
But it would be kind of fun if he was. But no, Dan is not executive producer. So really, let's get into kind of the why are we here? Because it is inevitable, I think, what the kind of speculation, if you will, is on this, that, okay, something has clearly changed for the cast. Either you had some people be like, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore, we changed our minds, or you had some people test positive, which, by the way, I don't want to be in the business of coming on here and being like, oh, this person tested whatever. Nobody knows, and it's not our business to know. But
no, it's not. And we, of course, have seen the stuff that's going around, and guys, just don't. Like, this is people's medical background of what is going on with them. Like, this isn't something right now to be talking about. Just until we actually get information, like, let's just stop that.
Yeah, so I'm just guessing that something happened one way or another that made CBS recognize, oh, so this cast that we've been spending so long trying to build, we're not going to have it the way in which we wanted it anymore, so we need to reconfigure and retool things. Now, one thing that, this is just my opinion on this, is that because they're not delaying the start of the season as of right now, I don't think they're going to, I'm just using Dan as an example because we've already mentioned him, they're not going to go and kidnap Dan from the middle of his Twitch stream right now and bring him into the house. Whoever's on this season, they've probably already got them sequestered as a cast member or an alternate. I don't think they're bringing anybody new in.
No, and I don't think they can bring anybody new in. They have some pretty strict regulations on how they're doing this. Whoever's in sequester now, that's it. That's who's on the cast. And so when it comes to the virus, obviously, if somebody does test positive, they're going to be taken out. How many alternates do they have? Who knows? Like 80 names have been floated out there. So, it's basically every Big Brother player in history is in sequester. But my feeling is that some things have maybe shifted where either someone has tested positive and they're unable to play, maybe they don't have enough alternates, maybe they've my theory is that for the Wednesday thing where they were going to have these interviews, that they have already filmed them. And what has happened is some of those people have either maybe dropped out, like possibly Paul, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But that maybe some people have tested positive and the alternates didn't film anything and they can't get it together in time. That's my theory on what is happening here, that they don't have all the interviews together right now.
I have a couple of things here. Number one, I am hoping that somewhere in some hotel somewhere, they have Devin locked away as the alternate to the alternate to the alternate, and we get Devin on this season now.
I think we all want to see Devin come
happen.
back. He's so entertaining.
Bring back the Bomb Squad. Everybody talks, well, CBS is in love with Big Brother 16. What CBS does not realize, it's really only the first month of Big Brother 16. That was tremendous.
As much as I want to see Devin back,
it's not happening.
He can't be back on an All-Stars.
No,
this would be like bringing back some first boot. Like,
yeah.
I've heard David's name floated around. I'd like to see David play again. Not on All-Stars, though. He's not an All-Star. He's a first boot. So for this particular season, Devin, it doesn't fit into what
they
we
can
got
change
going, but
the
man,
theme.
I would love to see him.
Yeah, Big Brother Devin is a star. That will be the new name of the season. But okay, the other thing, and it ties into what you said a second ago about them possibly already doing interviews. I know this because we had a sequester before Beauty and the Geek. It was not 2 weeks. We were not being tested for some sort of potentially dangerous disease or anything, but you do in that span of time, you film some interviews, you do like photos, all sorts of promotional stuff leading into the season, and it does take time. And in this current climate, everything probably takes about 3 times longer than it usually would. It's like with all of us, going to the store. It used to just be, all right, let's just wander over to the store, come back. Now we got, okay, we got the mask. Do we have disinfectant? Do we have anything? It's like there's so much more procedure put onto every little thing. So I think they're probably having to prepare some of that, and I think they have probably also realized, you know what's a good idea? Not confirming things in an era that is just so fraught with, like, constant change.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we've been saying in some of these other videos when we're all waiting for the premiere date. We're like, when's it coming? When's it coming? Why aren't they just being more transparent? And I think that they can find a balance, because it seems like for the most part they weren't being transparent because of something like this, that they would post something and have to take it away, and now everybody's mad. And I was giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, and I still think there's a lot of us out there that feel this way, that we understand that things are going to have to change and shift. It just is the climate that we're in right now, and that we're all big boys and girls and we can handle it. So CBS, give us the transparency. Just tell us kind of what's going on so that we're all on the same page and we don't all fall down this hole that we're in.
CBS, I feel like at times they're like, they got to be aware of, like, all the carpal tunnel syndrome they're, like, causing from people who are just, like, myself included at times, who's just sitting there and refresh Twitter. Come on, refresh. Give us something. Is somebody? This is where we are. But okay, before we go, we have to talk about Paul for a minute here, because Paul posted on Twitter this morning that he's not going to be a part of this season, and we already kind of knew. All right, Dan's not going to be on. Derek's not going to be on. Paul, I have so many weird thoughts about Paul, because I've made it pretty clear. I found Paul incredibly frustrating on season 19. I hated kind of his tactics in the house. I think Paul is a very, very good Big Brother player. Well, like 2/3 of a really good Big Brother player.
His jury management is so crap.
Yeah, he's the closest comparison I have to Russell on Survivor, where you can go really, really far, but you have to be able to win people over at the end, and he always didn't do a good enough job of doing that. But I think if you're still saying, okay, if you're trying to pick out, the 16 best strategists or best players, at least from the past several seasons, there's a good chance Paul's probably going to be on a lot of those lists.
Yeah, so listen, there's so many people, Big Brother people, that have put up things denying that they're going to be on the season. And there's some people, of course, that believe it, and other people that are like, oh, we still believe you're on. There's still people that believe Dan is still going to be on. But with this particular, which is why we don't typically talk about people that post that they're going to be on, they're not going to be on. It just isn't believable. But Paul's was a really interesting post because he was talking about having both of his parents going in for surgery. So that is a really serious lie, if that is a lie. So it makes me feel that it is not a lie, that he's not going to lie about having sick parents or that his parents need surgery. That's dark. So I just don't think that that's untrue. I think he probably was going to be part of the season, found out something was going on with his parents. They let him know what was going on. He was like, yeah, and I'm bailing. And there's a part of me with that message coming out. Then we've got Big Brother CBS putting out this message today that now it's just coming soon kind of thing. And those interviews are gone, that I wonder if they're connected.
I do wonder it. I do wonder if Paul was there and he ended up leaving for whatever reason. Maybe he found out about his family. I don't want to speculate too much on it. But maybe Paul ended up just going, and I'm sure they have someone else to be there. But I know already there are going to be questions about, okay, is this going to be a strong enough cast? Because you don't have, at this point, Derek, Dan, Paul. We don't know if some of the other rumors that are out there are even true or not. You know, I know Janelle has been talked about a lot, and I feel like Janelle's going to be there. But I think ultimately the thing is that even if we don't get to see a lot of the players who we want to see, and I know there are plenty of people, myself included sometimes, who wasn't really that excited about seeing Paul again, but I hope that there are actually some people on this cast who aren't like two-time players already. I want to see people get a second chance who maybe wouldn't get a second chance under a lot of other circumstances.
I was sort of on the fence about Paul. I didn't like the last game he played. His jury management, like I said, is really crap. So it's always really frustrating to watch him make it all the way to the end, and he just can't win if he keeps doing that. There was a part of me that was interested to see him come back for the third time, to see if he's taken any of the criticism that he's gotten about his game from online, if he wants to change his perception. And for me, I'm looking for the people who are really hungry to play this game and are here to give me good gameplay. I don't care about the showmances or the drama or any of that. I want to see really good strategy, people that are there to prove themselves. And Paul felt like kind of in that camp, that he was a guy who really wanted to prove himself. So I don't know. I was curious. I'll say that.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a very interesting what if from here on out. The what if Paul was on this season. But I think we could have that about a lot of people. We could have that about Dan. We could have that about Derek. We could have that about Devin. We could have that about anyone. But that is sort of what's going on right now. If something changes or if something breaks, rest assured, we will be here for you.
Yes.
Not so much if it is just, oh, here's another roundup of Twitter rumors that don't really amount to anything. But
no, you're not going to this is not the place for that. We're here to really try to give you the news.
Yeah, so we'll see exactly what happens, but fingers crossed something happens soon. But anyway, do you guys think we're gonna get a Big Brother 22 cast reveal this week? I still have a hope that we will. Maybe we'll get a cast reveal on Wednesday or Thursday, and then they'll push the interviews back. Honestly, we're all in the dark on this, but just let us know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, check out our links to the store, Patreon in the description, and we will see you guys here next time.